guys, it is August 5th, 2024, and we are going to sit down and go through what sold on eBay this week, starting with this Fuji DRI-90 audio cassettes pack. It was a pack of 10. This I remember I got at a garage sale. It was one of those where nothing was priced, which kind of drives me a little bonkers. But I got this and like an opened case of a different brand of cassettes. Walked up and said, "Would you take $1 for all these?" And the lady's like, "Sure." So I technically have 50 cents invested in this, and it sold for $9.99. These are some men's neckties that I believe was part of my bulk order at the thrift store when they were doing 5 for $1 on ties. Sat down for like an hour or so and went through all of them. They had like 2 big totes of ties and just sat down and went through, looked for certain brands, certain themes. And so these are Martin Wong ties. They were all kind of similar in style, so I went ahead and allotted them together. So I would have had about 60 cents invested in these, and they sold for $9.99. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know that one of my bread and butter items is any Bath & Body Works lotions. Pick them up for $2 or less, either at thrift stores or garage sales. If I find them in the Goodwill bins, or Goodwill bins does cosmetics and chemicals and stuff, are 25 cents a piece regardless of weight. So I have found these actually in the Goodwill bins. So this one, I'm not sure exactly where I got the specific one. Didn't pay more than $2 for it, and it sold for $12.49. I am always ordering large lots of these Littlest Pet Shop items. If you've been following me, you know that I do some whatnot auctions with the Littlest Pet Shops. It's frustrating though, because my favorite shows to do are the ones with the pets. My minis and accessories, they do sell, but they're not my favorite shows. So I'm not sure if I want to just focus on the main pets and eliminate the minis and accessories and just do those here on eBay. I'm kind of torn on what to do, like in terms of making money, like per hour for my time. The pets are just the strongest sellers. And so I put up a few accessories up on eBay to see how they sold. This one sold actually relatively quickly. I think it was like the next day after I listed it. This is a little treat dispenser center. It typically comes with little heart biscuits and dog bones and carrots. This is just the dispenser, and it sold for $11.99. Next item that sold on eBay, I've had this for a few months. It's Pink, the Funhouse Tour DVD. I got this at a garage sale for 50 cents. I typically don't mess with used DVDs at all, but this was in great shape, as you can see from the disc. So yeah, I turned 50 cents into $9.99. This is another item that I got with some of my lots. This tackle box itself sells pretty well. You tend to see it though without the cardboard dividers and often without the latch. This was complete though, had a few marks, nothing too crazy. Sold relatively quickly, let's see, 2 days for $74.99. If I remember correctly, shipping this, it was about $13 if I went through FedEx. So I went ahead and did FedEx ground for this, even though I did have to go drop it off and it's not super close. I think USPS was like $30 was their cheapest option. So one thing I don't like about these big items, so by going with FedEx, I did save some money, a little bit more money in my pocket, even after the sale. So yeah, $74.99, and this was just part of a lot that I got of pets. So I was at a garage sale, and my daughter collects rubber ducks. So I'm always looking for rubber ducks, and there was this little bathtub toy with all these little fish in it and a bunch of rubber ducks. So I asked the lady at a garage sale, how much is the thing? She's like, "Oh, $1 for the whole bin." I was like, all right, cool. Like, pick out the rubber ducks and sell the rest. But she actually took the rubber ducks, and she liked the little tub that it came in. So my daughter took those, and what was left were these goldfish, and I'm like, what are these? So, you know how it works. Like, you're like, this is weird, this is unique, this is different. Let me see what this is and see if it sells on eBay. And it do. So I've had these for a while. I want to say since April. It was a garage sale during this garage sale season. Somebody at one point asked if I would do a deal on it, and I was like, sure, and I dropped the price, and then they never bought it. So then I put the price back up, and it did sell for $39.99. So actually not that bad considering I had $1 invested in these. So good buy, good sell. Ran a few auctions this week to try and get rid of some stuff at the storage unit, specifically bulky items. So I ran a whole bunch of my books, like chapter books, the vintage ones like Goosebumps and the Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley High, Animorphs. Those are all really good sellers. Unfortunately, this went for $14.99, but they did have like library stickers and everything on them, which could have affected how they did. But these I pick up either garage sales, thrift stores, or a lot of times I get them in the Goodwill bins, because books are 3 for $1 there. So, I mean, still made a little bit of profit, but nothing too exciting on this particular lot. This is another bulk item that I put on auction. It went for $24.99. Again, I get these at the Goodwill bins. If they come in the little case, you technically get 2 of them for the 33 cents when you do 3 for $1. So just a couple bucks invested in these, and they sold for $24.99, plus shipping was able to go through media mail, which I saved a couple bucks on too. This was just a little Vera Bradley pouch. I think I picked this up at the Goodwill bins, considering that they don't weigh that much. I didn't have a whole lot invested in this. Did take a few months to sell, but sold for $9.99. I expected this to do better. I picked this up at the Goodwill bins, so I didn't pay a whole lot, but it's super cool. It's a cigar box made into a purse. I know I had it upwards of like $30. There were some that were selling, so I don't know if it matters what cigar box it is, or the colors, or if it's just fluky. Either way, dropped it down to $9.99, and it finally sold. I found this batch of Scentsy samplers. They're little containers with the scents so that you can smell them. The people that sell Scentsy will use these at their shows to give an idea of what something smells like for someone. Found these in the Goodwill bins. They were all kind of at the bottom of a bin. I just plucked them all out and saved them. I don't know how much this weighed, maybe a pound-ish. So you figure $1.67 invested, and it did take a while to sell. I did list it in February, but it did sell for $24.99. Another Bath & Body Works product. This was a full Bora Bora Citrus Surf Spray. Again, didn't pay any more than $2 for this and sold it for $12.99. I actually picked this up at a garage sale. It was only 25 cents. I had seen that it was $12.99 at Half Price Books. So I figured 25 cents was a worthwhile investment, especially considering it's the little prints. Just 2 cute little pins on a card, sold relatively quickly in just a few days for $16.99. While I do sell a Littlest Pet Shop over on Whatnot, I do find that a lot of my buyers do not care for the McDonald toys or the newer generation pets. So I decided to just go ahead and lot them up along with some clunkier items. Again, though, shipping on Whatnot is so weird that I'm just so scared of selling anything big on there, just for fear of messing up the shipping, because it goes by weight, and then like if it's over 12 inches, then you get charged more, and I hate it. So I was like, well, let me do some lots. So this was my first lot that I had up for sale. It included some pouches, a bunch of the pets. I think there were like 160 pets or so in here, with several of the play sets. Ran it for an auction, started at a penny, let her ride, and it went for $177.50 with $29.99 for shipping. And this is the other LPS lot I had. Again, this is all newer gen with some McDonald's. It was 11 pounds. If I remember correctly, it was over like 200 pets. Like insane. And this one didn't do as well as I had hoped. I think the playsets helped on the other one, even though I did do the shipping the same. So this sold for $82 and $29.99 for shipping. My mom actually spotted this in the Goodwill bins. It is a Jellycat plush. It's a little fairy, and it's got like a rose pouch or something. It's a rose petalkin doll. Jellycat, we're finding, is actually desirable. And so since this one was new at tags, my mom snagged it. Since it was Goodwill bins, she probably paid 30-40 cents for it, and we sold it for $34.99. The next item that sold on eBay is this Build-A-Bear dress. This is a Disney Rapunzel dress, has her on a little pin there near the front, like a little charm. It's in great shape, took pictures of it, listed it. This is a Goodwill Bins find, so it cost barely anything because of weight, and it sold for $9.99. And last but not least, we have this Disney Infinity character. This is a Hulkbuster. Sold for $10.99, and then I got a cancellation request on it because the buyer had the wrong address in PayPal. So I went ahead and did the cancellation, relisted, and they repurchased with the correct address. So this went for $10.99. These are actually like part of a lot. So I was getting a bunch of Disney Infinity lots for a while there because my twins recently discovered this game. And I was buying lots because I was trying to get 2 of each figure to eliminate fighting, because you can play the same figure twice in one game. So I also ended up with some triplicates. So the extras I listed on eBay to try and sell them off. I may eventually just lot them up. I also thought about doing like a video game whatnot auction and maybe doing them on there. So we will see. It's been kind of a crazy week. We were out of power for 3 days. We had a really bad storm come through and take out like all the old trees in the neighborhood. It was apparently the wind, and it was sustained wind. It wasn't just like gusts. It was sustained winds of 90 to 100 miles per hour that came through the Omaha area, hit for about a good 30-40 minutes. Apparently, it's comparable to a Category 2 hurricane. So pretty much, I think the entire Omaha area had tree damage and power outage. It was up to like 200,000 people without power. So we ended up without power for 3 days. We did have a teaser one day where it came on for about 4 hours and then dropped off again. That didn't hurt my eBay sales or anything like that. My storage unit was still accessible. So yeah, it was a little crazy there. And I had to cancel an LPS show on Whatnot. My kids are starting kindergarten next week. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So everything's going to get freed up time-wise, so I will be dumping a lot of time into Whatnot and eBay as it returned to school. So hoping between both platforms to be making some decent money this fall. That is all I have for you guys this week. I will see you next week to talk about what sold on eBay. Have a great one.